let's talk strategy. What do you do when you're feeling pretty strong? You can run tier 16s, but haven't really gotten the feel of tier 17s yet. So when you're in that no man's land between the two, and also how do you just get some currency at this stage of the league? This is not like a super secret unlocking infinite currency strategy, but it is solid and it gives you a leeway into tier 17s yourself. So I've been running these 8 mod corrupted underground seas, which I built a pool of these myself. And the reason why I am running underground sea is, if you look at the second gray line on it, tier 17 map drops are Ziggurat map. Ziggurat is, in my perspective, the best tier 17 maps, because you get the boss is biased towards the 2 expensive fragments, Devouring Fragment and Reality Fragment, meaning you get, from killing the boss, you always, whenever you get one of these fragments, you have already made a profit running these maps. So you can see, if I just check it real quick, 1.1 divine for this one, and Reality Fragment is a little bit more. And if we check the price on a Ziggurat map, you can see there were some. So what is the strategy? If we go into the atlas here, you can see each of these void stones say that you have a 0.4% chance for whenever you drop a map for it to become a tier 17 map for each socketed void stones. This means that 0.4 this time is times 4, because you have 4 stones, so that is 1.6, and you have 1.6 times 4 because you have 4 void stones, so that is 6.4% chance for whenever you drop a map for it to be tier 17. So we want to drop as many maps as possible in order to hit that 6.4% chance for this Ziggurat map, and that is why we're running Underground Sea. You can also run Toxic Sewer. You can see I have Underground Sea all over the place here, and then one favorite map socket slot for Toxic Sewer. Toxic Sewer also drops Ziggurat, but the tile set is doesn't have as many places for monsters to spawn, so you get more monsters in Underground Sea, but Toxic Sewer is quicker to run. So more monsters per map, faster to run. Pick your own poison in this regard. I have 2 setups in this video I want to go over. The first one is the initial one, where I ran 3 Cartography Scarab of the Multitude. So it's 8 to 12 additional packs of difficult and rewarding monsters, which dropped 300% increased maps. So I ran 3 of these. This is also a reason why you would want to run a map with a lot of spawns in there, because it says 8 to 12. So if there's no place for the extra packs to spawn, then you won't get the 12, then you'll only get the 8. And maybe not even the 8 if there's no more room in the map. So this will also take the place for, say, Exarch packs to spawn and such on. So that's why I'm going with Underground Sea. Then I run 1 Cartography Scarab of Escalation, so 10% increased maps found in area for each map modifier affecting the area, so this translates into 80% increased maps. And then a Cartography Scarab of Corruption, because I started out only with 2 corrupted Underground Sea maps, and then I built my map pool, and after 9 maps running, I switched from this strategy over to my second one, which is listed here. I cut down on one of these Cartography Scarab of the Multitude because they were a little pricey for my liking. So you can see you can buy them for, yeah, probably like 11-12 chaos if you're willing to go to the normal trade side. So I ran 2 of these, and then I ran a monstrous lineage for 40% increased magic pack size. This also helps with the Exarch altars, so you get more quantity there. Then, of course, this Cartography Scarab of Escalation. If you could run more than 1 of these, you would. And then Horn Scarab of Nemesis. because more monsters on the rare, more modifiers on the rare monsters will make them drop more loot. So these are the two first setups, and I've saved my drops here. This is the first 9 maps that I ran. You can see the amount of maps I have in here. I just borrowed this one, and then you can add in 18 more 8 mod corrupted maps, because I use this to fuel the strategy. I ran 20 maps total, so 9 with the first setup here, and then I ran 11 with the second one. It should probably have been 10-10, but I messed up the count a little. So primarily you go for the maps in the first one, you build your pool, and then you take the maps that you can get. And you do drop some amount of scares, but it's not too much. Then for the second part is, here is all the maps that I dropped. These are not corrupted, you'll see. These are just normal maps. I should probably have changed these to strand because they're easier to sell. So that's with the second setup over here. So you can see there's no corrupted there. A good chunk of scarabs. Nothing like completely exceptional there, but it's good, solid. You can see I'm running exact altars, and I got a fair number of these. And then I got 8 Ziggurat maps from 11 of these. So if we go into the, let's see here, go into Wealthy Exile, I have the stash tabs here. So for the first one, for the first 9 maps, I got a value saying 5.5 divines, and then you can add in the 18 maps that's missing. So that's not too impressive, especially when you're factoring in the price of the multitude scarabs. But still made a profit. But more importantly, we were building. I was building up my my pool of 8 mod maps, so I could go into step 2. Then if we look at step 2, this is 9.4 divines here, and bear in mind when you sell bulk, you can get a bit more for it. So, but still, it's just a pointer. And then for the raw maps itself, it's like 1.4. So if we add 1.4 and 9.4 and then add in a little extra, then you're probably looking at 1 divine per map that you're running. You can run a map in 4 to 5 minutes. So, and then there's of course the cost of the multitude scarabs. Monstrous lineage, how much is this one? It's 4 chaos. There's a lot for sale, and this one is probably like 3. So if we say 5 chaos for this one, 3 for the escalation, then we're sitting at 8. And then we have this one. It seems you can buy them for 11, so let's say 22, so we have 30 scarabs. That's 30 chaos a piece, and this one, let's put it at 5. So 35 chaos to run your maps, and then you get 1 divine back, more or less. And then this is of course RNG based, because like you need to hit those 6.4%. So that's the idea, but how do you go about getting as many maps as possible? So this, as you can see, it's called the map grinder over here. I have taken all of the map nodes, so you get increased chance to drop higher tier maps. So if I click this, you can see I have all the nodes in the tree affecting map modifiers, except this one up here, because the maps that you're dropping don't have quality, so it wouldn't do anything. Then I have singular focus, saying maps found have 200% more chance to be favorite maps, but you cannot drop non-favorite maps. This is because I want to keep running Underground Sea. I don't want any random maps to pop up, and this should not affect tier 17s. So whenever you drop a map, it will check if you rolled a tier 17 or a non-tier 17, and then singular focus kicks in the effect. I have blocked all of this. I should probably unblock this one here, but this is just to force the scarabs dropping. So even though I'm not like skillful into scarabs, I still want just to have a bias towards the better ones. And I don't really want to run any of these content things here. I just want to get into the maps, spawn as many altars as possible, Exarch altars. That's why I have all of the quant nodes here, and also Wrath of the Cosmos. So I can get more quantity, I get a chance to duplicate maps. You can also sometimes get minions to drop a specific type of scarab. If you're lucky and get ambush scarabs, then you will walk out of the map with quite a profit. So that's the thing. So it's quantity and maps. And then because I had some nodes left, I went into scarab. And then I have 100, if we search here, beyond, you can see 100% chance for your maps to attract beyond demons. And then I have used Endless Tide, so I cannot spawn unique bosses. The issue with the bosses are that whenever they spawn, the beyond is gone in the map. And I don't want that to happen. So I have allocated this one, and then because Underground C is a little bit of a maze structure, that means instead of being a completely open layout, that means the packs are clustered a little bit together, so the downside of less merging radius isn't as severe as if you were running, say, Dunes or something like it. But that's the setup. Let's jump into a map so you can actually see how this strategy is unfolding. So here's the map. 8 mod corrupted, as you can see. The only mods I don't like running is less life recovery rate and no leech. I can run the no leech, but they are annoying, so I just skip those as well because I have a pretty decent pool. Underground C has a diamond shape to its layout, and the boss chamber will only spawn on the 2 top sides of that diamond. This means that you always want to go upwards, and then whenever you find the boss chamber, you beeline for that and get rid of the boss, so the altars can no longer spawn boss modifiers. I got lucky on the first altar. It had both item quantity and chance to duplicate maps, so this is going to be a pretty good one, hopefully. The second one wasn't as good, but still dropping extra scarabs is always nice, so I clicked that one. Had it been ambush scarabs, I would have been really lucky, but I mean, you can't get everything, right? So here I'm checking the right side of the top of the map, and I can't see any boss chambers in here, so I'll still just clear the area and then move back. And here I got lucky. One of the maps got duplicated. You could see it had the same name dropped twice, so that's nice. One thing I didn't mention initially is that you also get a decent amount of gold from these maps. I think I averaged out on the second strategy around 26,000 coins per map. The initial one was a little lower. It was like 22, 24k, so it doesn't matter. Still, you get a decent amount of coins, so you can get your workers running in King's March. But yeah, you can see a lot of maps are dropping. When several maps drop in the same location, you can be pretty sure that's one of the packs or several of the packs with Scarab of the Multitude. Here, I backtracked because I saw an altar, and you just always want to click those, and I got some more quantity, and basically you always want to click those altars as long as they don't kill you outright. Here I got lucky, got a Ziggurat map, but my inventory is full, so just have to go to town, unload everything in a dump tab, and get back in and finish the map. To summarize, will this strategy make you rich from 1 minute to the other? No, it won't. But it's a pretty good stepping stone, and it's a good way of testing your character to see if you're ready for tier 17s. Because corrupted 8 mod tier 16 maps juiced through the Atlas, like you can see here, getting all of the explicit nodes, makes it pretty close to the feeling of tier 17s. And the good thing is, the entry cost isn't as large, and you can pretty much farm most of this yourself. You need to buy Scarab of the Multitude, of course. You probably can't sustain those yourself. The Escalation Scarab, and then you need, from time to time, you need to run some maps with the Corruption one. This is probably the priciest one. of the bunch. It's actually not too bad, but you need some of these in order to build your map pool, and then when you have enough maps to run, you just move it out, and then you go for the second setup. If I were to run this setup again, I would probably skip out on the Horned Scarab of Nemesis, and I would keep Escalation, and I would keep Monstrous Lineage, but I would go for 3 of the Scarab of the Multitude, because I can also see that they've dropped in price. I had to pay 16 to 18 chaos a piece for them if I wanted to use the in-game currency thing, but if I can buy them in bulk for 11-12 chaos a piece, let's see what they are. They're probably moving up a little bit, but there's a guy selling 1300, so you can probably get them for 11. So I would probably go for this setup if I were to continue with the strategy. If we look at the drops, the first batch was a little on the unlucky side, only getting 4 Ziggurat maps in 9. The second one was better, getting 8 Ziggurat maps in 11. So I did the numbers of all of the maps here, plus 18, and all of these maps here, and then if you divide that with 12 Ziggurat maps, it's a little above average. So it's the numbers are adding up, and it is a solid strategy. It's a good stepping stone. You get to test your build, and you don't have to buy all the maps. You can sustain those yourself. You need to buy some scarabs, of course, but once you have the setup going, you can sustain yourself, and you don't even have to roll your maps because they drop as they are, and then you can just run a bunch of maps and just relax and do whatever you feel while doing so. But yeah, I hope this guide was useful, and you can of course change the setup. This is just a starting point for it. But yeah, I hope it was worth the time, and well, have a good one.